Welcome back to my YouTube channel LC Coins World, and today we will be diving deep into the full professional history of the 1980 Lincoln penny, a coin that holds a unique place in United States numismatic history. The Lincoln cent has been in continuous production since 1909, making it the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history, and the 1980 issue represents a fascinating chapter within that legacy, both in terms of design composition, minting changes, and the larger economic and cultural context of its time. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and the first historical figure to appear on a regular issue U.S. coin designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse portrait of Lincoln has remained largely unchanged since its introduction and continues to be a symbol of American integrity, leadership, and unity. By 1980, the Lincoln cent had already undergone several major transitions, including the introduction of the wheat reverse design from 1909 to 1958. And then the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which began in 1959 to mark Lincoln's 150th birthday. The 1980 Lincoln penny continues the tradition of the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which features a detailed rendering of the monument located in Washington, D.C. Designed by Frank Gasparro, this reverse served both a symbolic and practical function. It honored the legacy of Lincoln while providing a modern update to the coin's imagery. In this design, if you look closely, you can even see the statue of Lincoln visible between the columns of the memorial, an exceptional detail that showcases the mint's craftsmanship. From a technical standpoint, the 1980 Lincoln cent was produced at three main mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, while the Denver coins carry a D mark, and the San Francisco coins bear an S mint mark, which were mostly used for proof sets. The coin is composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that had remained consistent since the early 1960s prior to 1982, when the mint would switch to a primarily zinc core due to rising copper prices. The weight of the 1980 penny is approximately 3.11 grams, and it has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters with a plain edge. This makes the 1980 issue one of the last to be struck entirely from the traditional bronze composition before the full transition to copper-plated zinc coins in 1982. This transition was significant not only for numismatists, but also for the economy, as the rising cost of copper meant the intrinsic value of the coin was approaching or exceeding its face value, a problem for circulating coinage. The 1980 Lincoln cent was minted in massive quantities, with over 7 billion coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint alone, making it one of the most abundant issues of the era. However, that does not diminish its historical importance or collector interest, because within this massive mintage are numerous minor varieties, die errors, and condition rarities that continue to capture the attention of coin collectors across the country and around the world. Some of these errors include off-center strikes, double dies, and misaligned dies, all of which can carry premiums depending on their clarity and uniqueness. Economically, the late 1970s and early 1980s were a period of inflation and changing metal values, which placed pressure on the U.S. Mint to find more cost-effective ways to produce coinage. The 1980 penny represents a period just before this transformation, making it historically important as one of the final years where coins were still struck in the traditional copper-rich alloy. Many collectors seek 1980 pennies in high grade, especially those that have been preserved in uncirculated rolls or found in original mint sets. From a cultural standpoint, the Lincoln penny has served as a constant reminder of American ideals. It has passed through countless hands, witnessed significant moments in history, and been part of everyday transactions for generations. The 1980 coin specifically captures a moment just before the technology and economic priorities of the modern mint began to reshape how coins were designed, produced, and distributed. It is a coin that links the classic era of heavy metal coins with the emerging world of cost-optimized modern minting. The San Francisco proof coins of 1980 are of particular interest to collectors and are found only in proof sets. These coins were struck with specially prepared dies on polished blanks, giving them a mirror-like surface, and frosted. As we move deeper into this 2-hour exploration, we will analyze the production techniques used at each mint, the quality control processes, and how these factors contributed to the appearance of various mint eras. We will discuss notable auctions where 1980 pennies in high grade have brought surprising prices, and look at how demand for this issue continues to evolve in the coin market today. We will also explore how the 1980 penny fits into date runs, Lincoln Memorial Cent collections, and registry sets. The Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most collected in all of numismatics, and the 1980 issue is an essential part of that story. Whether you are assembling a full collection of memorial cents or just beginning your journey into coin collecting, understanding the 1980. So stay tuned as we take a comprehensive look at everything there is to know about the 1980 Lincoln penny, from design history and metal content to varieties, proof issues, grading, population, and collector trends. This video will be your complete guide and source of historical depth, only here on LC Coins World. Started first the 1945 wheat penny specifically. Today we will be diving into the rich numismatic journey and historical legacy of one of the most intriguing coins in American coinage, the 1945 wheat penny with no mint mark. This 1-cent coin, struck in Philadelphia, has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and investors for decades, and although it may seem like a simple copper coin at first glance, its story is tied deeply to the conclusion of World War, to the evolution of the U.S. economy, and the post-war American identity. The 1945 wheat penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of the 16th President of the United States, and it marked the first time in U.S. history that a real person appeared on circulating coinage. This design replaced the Indian head cent and was revolutionary for its time in both artistry and symbolism, emphasizing national unity, integrity, and historical remembrance. The reverse of the wheat penny features two stylized wheat ears on each side of the coin's central inscription, 1 cent, United States of America, above which appears the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, symbolizing unity among the diverse states of the American Republic. The design is simple yet powerful and reflects the agricultural heritage and hard-working spirit of the American people in the first half of the 20th century. The 1945 version was struck in large quantities, with over 1 billion coins produced between 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, the ones without a mint mark were specifically minted in Philadelphia, the nation's primary coin-producing facility, which traditionally did not use a mint mark at that time, though the coin itself was not scarce in general circulation. What makes certain 1945 wheat pennies especially valuable and sought after today is the condition, rarity of die eras, and the significance of being part of the final war era issues. The coin was struck using bronze alloy composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a composition that was used consistently from 1909 through 1942, with the exception of the 1943 steel cent due to wartime metal shortages by 1944 and continuing. Into 1945, copper was reintroduced using reclaimed ammunition, shell casings left over from World War, to making the 1945 wheat penny a tangible artifact of the wartime recycling effort and national mobilization. The historical context of the coin cannot be overstated, as 1945 marked the final year of World War II and a pivotal turning point in global politics, economics, and society. American coinage during this time reflected the country's resilience and unity. The wheat penny circulated among citizens returning from war, rebuilding the nation and reshaping the future. The very metal in these coins may have once been part of the machinery that helped end global conflict, making every 1945 wheat penny a small yet powerful piece of history. From a collector's standpoint, the 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny becomes particularly valuable when it features unique characteristics such as double die versus off-center strikes, planchet errors, or exceptionally well-preserved examples in mint state condition. While average circulated versions may only hold modest value, coins graded by professional services at high levels such as MS-65 or higher can command significantly higher prices in auctions and private sales. We will explore all the possible varieties known to date, including subtle die changes, repunched mint marks on reused dies, and transitional planchet anomalies. We will also delve into the history of the Philadelphia mint itself during the war years, its production scale, challenges faced by workers, and its role in wartime morale and post-war recovery efforts. Additionally, we will discuss how this coin fits into the broader Lincoln cent legacy, which ran with the wheat reverse until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. This comprehensive video will offer an in-depth analysis of the socio-economic and political backdrop of the 1945 wheat penny, examine its physical properties, artistic elements, and minting process, review its place in American numismatic history, and provide insights into current market trends, values, and authentication techniques for identifying rare varieties and high-grade examples. So whether you are a seasoned collector, an amateur enthusiast, someone fascinated by the hidden stories behind everyday objects, this episode of LC Coins World will guide you through every detail that makes the 1945 no-mint mark wheat penny not just a cent but a cornerstone of American coinage history and a reflection of an era defined by sacrifice, resilience, and hope for a better future. Today, we are going to explore the fascinating and historically rich world of the 1957 wheat penny. This coin is not just a simple piece of American currency, it is a representation of the economic strength, artistic craftsmanship, and cultural significance that define the mid-20th century in the United States. The 1957 wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was part of a series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth and was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials can be seen on some early issues of this coin. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, where this specific version of the penny was struck, and although millions were minted, what sets certain 1957 wheat pennies apart are the ones that were preserved in exceptionally fine condition, contained rare errors, or were minted under unique conditions that today make them highly sought after by numismatists and collectors across the globe. To understand the full story behind this coin, we have to dive deep into the economic and political environment of the late 1950s, a time when the United States was experiencing significant changes during the post-World War II boom. The economy was growing, consumer culture was expanding, and coin production was operating at a high level to keep up with the increasing demand for money circulation. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series featured the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a bold and respectful tribute to one of the most revered presidents in American history. It was the first time in American coinage that a real person, not a symbolic figure, was honored on a circulating coin. The obverse design remained consistent for decades, with Lincoln's profile facing right along with the words "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date. The reverse side of the coin displayed two stylized wheat stalks, one on each side, symbolizing prosperity and growth, along with the phrases "1 cent United States of America" and "E pluribus unum," which translates "two out of many one," emphasizing national unity and strength. By 1957, the wheat reverse had become an American icon, but it was also approaching the end of its time, as the reverse design would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This means the 1957 issue stands as one of the last coins in this long and beloved series, made from a bronze alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The 1957 penny has a distinct reddish hue when uncirculated, and over time the high copper content contributes to the formation of beautiful natural patinas that many collectors find desirable. While billions of these coins were struck, the value and collectability today hinge on condition, rarity, and errors. For example, doubled die obverses, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and die cracks are among the characteristics that can elevate the value of an otherwise common wheat penny coins that remain in mint state, especially those graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services, are especially prized and can fetch premium prices at auctions or in private sales. Collectors are also drawn to this coin for its nostalgic value. It circulated in an era when America was leading the space race, navigating Cold War tensions, and experiencing significant social and technological advancements. It was the era of Elvis Presley classic cars, black and white television, and the early stages of modern computing. Every 1957 penny that changed hands did so during an exciting transitional period in American life, and each one carries the invisible imprint of that time. In this episode, we will take a deep dive into the origin and background of the Denver Mint, explore the minting techniques used during that time, look into known varieties and era types associated with the 1957 penny, and walk you through how to identify high-grade and valuable examples. We will also study market trends and auction history to give you a complete picture of what makes this particular coin so desirable in the world of numismatics. Whether you are a serious collector or beginner learning about coin values, or someone with a casual interest in American history, this to our journey into the world of the 1957 wheat penny will open your eyes to the depth, beauty, and richness that a single 1-cent coin can contain. So grab your magnifying glass, open your coin folders, and get ready to explore the legacy of the Lincoln wheat penny and why the 1957 issue holds a special place in the hearts and collections of enthusiasts around the world. Here on LC Coins World, LC Coins World, and today we are going deep into the rich and fascinating story of one of the most intriguing coins in American numismatic history, the 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark, circulated and considered by many to be extremely rare and highly collectible. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is far more than a 1-cent coin. It is a snapshot of a unique moment in United States history, time of war, sacrifice, innovation, and immense national pride. Minted during the final years of World War II, the 1944 wheat penny represents the return to the traditional copper alloy composition after a single year in 1943, when pennies were struck in steel coated with zinc due to the wartime demand for copper in ammunition and military equipment. In 1944, The U.S. Mint was able to redirect spent ammunition shells back into coin production, thus resuming the issuance of copper-based pennies. That same year, however, not all 1944 wheat pennies are alike, and some have become legendary in the collecting world for their composition variations, die errors, and rare anomalies. The absence of a mint mark under the date on the obverse side of the coin indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which during that era did not use a mint mark for pennies. The Philadelphia Mint in 1944 produced over 1 billion Lincoln wheat cents, which might make this coin seem common at first glance, but when you take into account the various striking varieties of metal errors and condition rarities, it becomes clear that certain 1944 pennies are far more desirable and valuable than others. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the classic profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with inscriptions such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the mint year 1940. For the reverse side continues. The wheat ears design, first introduced in 1909, symbolizing prosperity and national growth, with the denomination 1 cent United States of America and the motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. The coin's composition is typically 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, but some examples have surfaced in steel plankets left over from the previous year, making those coins exceptionally rare and among the most sought after errors in American numismatics. Throughout this 2-hour journey, we will examine how these coins were produced, what historical events influenced their creation, and how wartime decisions by the U.S. government shaped not just the physical makeup of the coin, but its long-term collectability. We will explore the history of the Philadelphia Mint and its role during the war effort, delve into the copper shortages, and how ammunition casings were recycled to produce coin blanks, and uncover how a few off-metal errors made it into circulation undetected until sharp-eyed collectors discovered them years later. We will also take a look at some of the most dramatic auction results involving 1944 wheat pennies, especially those struck on steel plankets, and review how coin grading services have certified these varieties and what to look for when evaluating a 1944 wheat penny for authenticity and value. We will compare standard circulation pieces to brilliant and circulated and mint state coins, show you how to identify die cracks, repunch dates, doubled dies, and other striking anomalies that can dramatically increase a coin's market value. Whether you are a seasoned coin collector, a history buff, or someone who has just come across a 1944 penny and wonders if it could be worth a fortune, this video will provide you with everything you need to understand the legacy of this extraordinary coin. The 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark is more than just copper and zinc. It is a reflection of America's strength, resilience, and ingenuity during one of the most challenging periods in world history. And right here on LC Coins World, we are going to bring its story to life, so get comfortable, prepare to take notes, and let's begin unraveling the hidden value and incredible journey of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny.